Supreme Court ene womo akwa ahomegyemu anase womo adwone womo ensemo efa Speaker of Parliament ene NPP caucus over Article 97 1G ene ne H. Enumu na speaker e kire se emrahwediafo en9 NDC mienu edebi NDC baako MPP mienu independent baako yesi wo mu nyina wo mu across carpet afri ba bia no wo mu wo a wo mu de call parliament ho no akobia hoforo wo mu aye wo mu ho chimelayon chameleon no nkran no tikane se chimelayon ya free ho amasese wo man sansa won na speaker say he atade amade bae no debi kan ene amusit no bi anteso ene we declare na no ene ekopie mu e wo Supreme Court say speaker eni say tumi no Emma court to share speaker asem ye ne won twen ye ni asem ni nwie ti wo motabiri asem ne do nchen kaka na next 7 member panel Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu otiegwam and wo kire say speaker Alban Bagbin asem here what the abey the case you want to eat it is good speaker lawyer and so be check shame e kire say time e be serve wo mu when in said you are ya maduma ya setna mu ni ade time we no ba no be serve yen we won sem bebre ne tintin ni tietie mu ne se de esi call ye e wo court ho no ye betie anoba ba ya ne kakra na afi ya ba se abro mo pon wie ye no e kwotwetwe bi a e course no ye ntie de ene e course e wo court dem ho abra a lawyer for no ye isi emesi isi attorney general and we no speaker. One sorry. And speaker lawyer. Your markets and so lawyer. Or no so your former attorney general way. Bapping representing. You got him money. I need you got or run at that any show being connect. And I caught or person or Cassana court in Sabra. You know talk in this court. All right, I just should be at Obekasa. Yeah, man, Casa. 1 2 actually, no, I felt no AJ in the baton. Yentie the course or court to them. I was here for a year, bro, baby, tin, full of in my room. Just like, now I did baby. Now I'm a boy, obviously, yeah, tea for no 80%. Twi noa emu 10% eti twi ne kakra esan eti brofo no so kakra ena emu 10% eti brofo enti ye mpe brofo bebre ena ye mpe twi nso frenchem ti o ha na ye de kakra brofo ni bi de awurawura mu sa na ye noa ti brofo no do so se ya na eti eno kafra wai ama eno se brofo akese e de na ekoso bravo me that say bravo can say ni nyina ne say Chief Justice Eddie the ruling and the make say go break be 3 times na ansana meto aso kra no Chief Justice Eddie ruling ne by anopa ifi ase na speaker ensema watro onam na lawyer for so atro Eddie akoma court no frey ape na attorney general minister for justice Godfrey Yebo Adame sorry ejina say or what the friend of preliminary legal objections or select court in the court in the manner quenya na one church in seminum unyanto was a chim say speaker Casabia or namna lawyer for nature Edinburgh court or who say a book court in any tia in tray in Tibet yes and bit me is here ewa yenye ne tosum ye no sign e kan wasem ne say ne ohun say speaker enkrata onam na lawyer for so lawyer title story e de buy say ne ase anko in the favor of speaker dia na say speaker person ka say atemuafo na tena ase ene no na ase omu nyina edom
amanyɔkuo bi ozuru sɛ entwa yie na no na lawyer to the story ebra wode na no yie ba ɛwɔ saa preliminary legal objections no ano no ɔno so kyerɛ mu sɛ dabi ɛyɛ nkrataa bi a ɛyɛ judicial secretary ɛna twerɛ ya na fi court dem hɔ a akɔ speaker nsa ɛna speaker nso kan mu nyinaa ɛna otutu mu baabi a ɔsan ɛde ba court hɔ enti sɛ attorney general ka sɛ ɛyɛ scandalous dia na ohun enyina so pɔte a ogina so the second point a ɛyɛ lawyer title sorry erezi ye ɛyɛ temofo numa ɛtena ase ne baako ɛyɛ justice Eric Jau ɔse papa no ɛnka ne bi na ɔkɔstande sɛ parliamentary candidate ɛde ma NPP amanyuko enti ɔbɛtena saa akonwa isu ene sɛ ɔba bɛka asɛm a yɛbɛka sɛ NPP na enya ɔmasɛm ɛwɔ mrahye bedwafiem sɛ ɔba bɛtena asɛm ne so bia na ohun ne sɛ ebia nkoye na no kra wa na no ansi ɛna CJ sɛ dabi baabi a wokɔ ne ahwie nkuruma gu hɔ ɛhɔ ɔtro wokɔ pa a wobɛhwe fam tifa wɔ hɔ a ɛna ɔde na no ɛwɔ hɔ na no ne first break a yɛ sorry ɔmo kɔ baayɛ no ɛna chief justice ɛde ruling ɛbae ruling na ɔde baayɛ no ɔkyerɛ sɛ asɛm na yɛka sesia mpempem a yɛma akwan sɛ nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ɛmɛtena court dem mu ntie bi no ɔse ɛyɛ constitutional matter na emom ɛnyɛ party matter ɛnyɛ manyɔsɛm saa keke sɛ NPP nie ekradonko GFP enie ɛne NDC nie ɛnyɛ political party bia keke asɛm ne yɛka na emom we yɛ Ghana mamra 1992 constitution no ɛho ensɛm ɛna yɛka nti ɛno yɛbɔ sansɛm no etubu ɛne yɛkyerɛ ne sɛ
in as much as any political no a constitutional matter but the interpretation now either favors favor one of the parties depending on how it is interpreted so it becomes political in a way a constitutional ama one more try you know our parliament and one more year more implementation and a Supreme Court and a obey interpret. In Parliament already there is that division. NDC forces say, NPP forces say. So a constitutional matter, but it has taken a political. Depending on how the ruling goes, it favors a party.
But if you know your adventure, by Supreme Court today, and then your more can you say the year can was a constitutional matter.
Okay.
Mamma, your seven the Moka Bonti and Makoy. Name them court to them what dear, or so come amra. Amamra no pe and a wunima or the year juma. Then ne say lawyer title sorry or move na application. Na enumu ena speak Chief Justice Bisa say speaker file she eninti no ye kan say ye jana manako ana say ye kan say ana still na ye 5-member panel na ena eti edwam na no ena decision no omo ma akwan ma obi aye argument the argument ni bi ena ye boy ya attorney general gina ne nanso edi ni nchieche mu ebai na de odi kan kra kasa ye lawyer title sorry ni nchie mu a wo che ne se nokre ex parte application na ye afenyo markings edi ekọ court no osusu se court no etumi anase court ni nyina so a okoshuki se animanim ya afre ye case na di ye case my expert osusu se wanko ni ye kra enti court no so frɛ ye eti asem na one other party no ekwan ama wanti asem no eno entwa ye ne etoso mienu ose sa asem ya afenyo markings ediko Supreme Court no the best remedy any baby anko betimi di akọ was the High Court. Supreme Court there na wakọ achire kura abro Supreme Court ni sa atumi no o chese Supreme Court any jurisdiction say otina so
afenyo marking mo de call ya order speaker say speaker emfa ne ruling no ento ho Supreme Court kro no anso say afenyo marking ho no de ba ye ne na Supreme Court
we speaker lawyer na eka say the speaker lawyer point or raise it ruling yaman the speaker point a lawyer point a lawyer title sorry a point or raise the edika say baby or the coy no Supreme Court na any jurisdiction e so tena so
ene your lawyer na dream
ene your lawyer no nyina so a o say speaker nkrata or the coy ni cheche mu no ene o sinka baby e so the court was the High Court so say High Court eno se Ghana mamra 1992 constitution atro e de atro se obi efi NPP mu akọ NDC mu and obi fi NDC mu akọ kontonkra wa make provisions ato explicitly ese sa woni pa no e kwa we ni emfa so enti sa Supreme Court no de koyen na etia emra o che say Supreme Court kran so krata ye di Hansard na ye de beto men na enye Hansard ayaje e de atum e no mji tum
e de parliament STV ya the next sitting no womo go through or more proceedings a course no
okay
na ye bisa say correction bi womo na said de mo akọ secretary a training minutes na the next minute ye read it over for corrections we are not yet adopted as a document of the house and answer of the meeting no the same thing the ono patch and say the omode back court no no call the next sitting to accept it because I think so sitting no year the last one no speaker and speaker baba year no ah year corrections okay nti lawyer na patch say the omode back no
na ye nyintu
nti no errors no omode back so ntimi nyina no so mfa
ruling no
anyway
that is the point then na no see your boy na sem nyina atofa na no see e na lawyer Abedu awo no ene lawyer Jogati na ejinam e de ama afenyo markings nso so region no se no kre wono de na asem etiawa na asem a wo ka nyina ne se Supreme Court na wo mo buy expert no na enamomra kwanso emra na esanse Supreme Court pe ene ya hye na atade ya hye no wig ya hye ne mpabo aka ho a owo akwanya ni din wo constitution nim se obia bibi kire ne so na efaga na ya mamra ho a omra ho enti ba omko Supreme Court no was solely for interpretation
but high court mean interpretation
daddy
okay enti that say ono so ne point always say oba for interpretation
so bibi anka high court na eno no ba Supreme Court eno an na ono so no see ye pe en attorney general original en attorney general say ne lawyer title sorry can is neither here nor there say adenti na omo ba Supreme Court aden no ba expert aden na Supreme Court ka say speaker stay in the proceedings and I say stay of execution no ni nyina o chese no kre eni nyame anim say emra ne makwan pepepe ye rule 8 of CI 47 no bibia deda na kwan mu say Supreme Court pe eno no so timi interpretation enti say afenyo markings eba Supreme Court na akwanya ewo ho no na another argument Attorney General raise here is the fact that speaker yes serving the office and you know one the personality say okay. Alban Bagbin it's in a lawyer crowd or representing no there's a question mark
they expected
no Attorney General and also representing because Ghana abanye dwuma bia no ukonya asem wom anaso bi ni adwuma ni twema so Attorney General and say o defend you it is a speaker ankasa kofa ne lawyer dia na asasem no be ka so afa ne personal enti no ama ne personal lawyer e na aba court oba be defend enti so on filing krata dia na Attorney General nyansem ka yenyi speaker Prince Nchen sanse me wa ha me na me represent the Speaker of Parliament me na me represent Parliament no enti speaker e lawyer no ba be ye de e no on file re e no koye banta wo ho e na Owura Jogati so na no tu mi se ane oni Attorney General ya adwen e sanse speaker one kasa speaker enya wo ene ebo odin serve na emom o office no ene ebe 70 se o ka se ene wo lawyer ye bisa ne lawyer nse ji sokoji order e free ene client ne eho na 7 days nso aye de ma no 7 days no expire tina akoye bibia ho na so ne nyina mu no court ni tie o masem no ene o ka che om se o ma no nafo ani bia ka ho omon file omon krata bia na fe memorandum of issues no omon file nyame ya adoma ye be go back to court eye 11th November no ye be kwa kotie asem no say ye wie ntem na say Supreme Court e betimi de o matemu aba Chief Justice di kankra kan say dana no ombetie legal applications na ewom legal battles no tie wi a obe study case ni down na ya ma omo break akra no makofa om judgment ni dia ba e na echi no say yen komra ye be abetie really no that very day enti yen komra na emetie say hearing e beba so 11th no na ye wie hearing no so a e ya de a ebia na judgment no atwa so e dia ba
obi bisa say what is America sorry hwan na sorry no pacho nipa din
a friend lawyer title sorry
obi anka sorry chire obi nipa ni din no a friend sorry nti ti ase ho ama me nti ase mi ase ensem we wo ho sese no akoye mienu e fa ba akoye speaker ansa na speaker ebeye ni ruling no ni yese emane nye ruling no ena oye ni ruling ena omode call yese wo momfa ruling emra mfa speaker ruling no ho no ruling ne ba yese speaker ruling na ode aba no onfanto ho na omudi asem ni wie a na yahwe se the merit of it se be ya so or sha se implementing the ruling is se na ekoba na asem no kraka se de oye no amfa kumra kwan so a na just watwe wo mu aso kwa se no de what we are eating the case we are eating eye speaker amfa nto ho no ana se ye di asem no ankasa there something no ankasa de hin ye di
se bra ofi meka se ye di ba ko awie ni speaker amfa nto ho stay of execution ya can we
they say still ya can
say on beko akwakoye o madwuma
the stay of execution no
adwuma
okay
and as say substantive case no eno na ye frɛ ya 7 member panel no e betena ase the 7 member panel no betena ase no and omu bisa se adenti na speaker ye file nkrata no ye ko survey no ema service no o se enye adwuada na ye de bre no enso ene chief justice kasan o kire se no kre ono a owo ena speaker frɛ no ena order bia secular bia na wo deda since 2021 a eye kwan ya fa so serve mrahye bedwafo no wono akɔ no kotim nene ena CJ kire mu yie se enye speaker nankasa na ye kɔ serve only on Mondays nemom office one legal department ni de edebia yetimi ekɔ serve wom nemom yakɔ serve wom awie no krata nankasa se ye be kɔ ma speaker na ye dwoada enti ebia ye kɔ serve ne fiada ye kɔ serve ne yawada ye kɔ serve ne ukuada edwoada de se onipa bi oje nkrata esan ne ye no ode krata no kɔ speaker say you no speaker no personality no e de ye kɔ serve ne dia na edwoada nemom say yade a eye mrahye bedwafiem no bi ade nkrata e kɔ serve wom dia eno edebia otimi edekɔ
okay
it is substantive case no nyame ya adoma 11th no yebedi na brakofi ye pie ye no ye ne attorney general edi nkomo bisa ne se ne ekoso nyina enchiremu ben no wo na ensam kakra se eno de tuja
as I indicated to the court, procurement of all goods, works and services of any person with public funds must be with the approval of the procurement authority. So it's a matter that is very important and indeed here to raise it.
Was it deliberate to leave this late? The mega check is the court stated that when it comes to issues where Parliament and the AG's office has cross purposes, they can have different laws.
No, that's not. It is where the interests of the persons conflict. That's what they are telling you. In this case, as I said, in constitutional case, there's nothing like a person have an interest in it. What difference does the Speaker of Parliament have in the interpretation of the Constitution? So there's no interest, no personal interest of the Speaker of Parliament. And that's the point I sought to make. That indeed, when it comes to constitutional access, the most important interest is the true and proper interpretation of the relevant provision of the Constitution. And that is it. So it's not as if a person has a personal interest in it. And if that's the case, as I indicated in some cases that I cited, it is actually a proper interpretation of the Constitution by the Supreme Court that is most important. And
so the other concern is that was it deliberate you left it that late in court to raise this issue? Because one would have thought would have been one of the first issues you would have raised when you got to court today.
I mean, as I said, I've always tolerated the Speaker of Parliament and his representation, even though I know it's not lawful. And of course, it is not. You see, the point must be made. It is not an attempt to prevent the Speaker from having representation. If the Speaker wants to have a lawyer, the Speaker must procure the lawyer lawfully. And then, as I said, the Attorney General, even when he's seeking the service of a lawyer to represent the government in cases outside the country, in foreign courts, goes to PPR approval all the time. Even the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice, Edin Ebua, who was, with all respect, using the services of Federal Authority, had to go to PPR approval. And I know for a fact that he has not received any PPR approval. And so he's in flagrant violation of the provisions of the law, and that is what we saw.
What's the implication for that case?
It is not.
The Chief Justice came
So
back
it is
and not mention it again.
Well, that's up to the court. I do not quarrel with the court at all when the court decides to either defer a ruling or decides not to rule on it. And of course, all rights are also reserved in us to take it up further.
What's the
A breach of the PPA Act constitutes a crime. And my contention is that you cannot use a crime to defend a clear unconstitutional action by yours. So indeed, we are engaged in an unconstitutional action and you are using, with all respect, the commission of a crime to further that unconstitutionality. That is wrong.
The court largely agreed with you today, but it said that it was going to give a ruling on the objections you raised in its ruling. It did not again raise those issues in its ruling.
Yes. I mean, that was the material permission of the court. Of course, as I said, I do not usually quarrel with the court, and I do not have any complaints at all. Substantially, as you said, my objections, the point where upheld, and the essence is that the objections of the first defendant, the Speaker of Parliament, were without any basis whatsoever. And I think it's very important to indicate that this country sometimes is a lot of ignorance paraded as wisdom. The situation where you have ignorance paraded as wisdom must stop. There's a lot of deceit and misrepresentation of reality to the public. You find all the points that have been made all the time. I listen to the radio quietly when this matter came. I've never spoken at all. And I see a lot of ignorance and mischief being perpetrated and being thrown in the eyes of the public. And you've seen it. I'm sure that is why the court took a sign to deliver such a comprehensive ruling to educate the public properly and to prevent ignorance from being further paraded as wisdom in this country.
With the angle of I was for now way a Godfrey Eboa Dame or no ena or ye aban Mrenimuni Cassie and I send lawyer penny attorney general. Na we ye no ena lawyer Emma NPP caucus in parliament. In fact, Alexander Fenyo Markin. Parkwesi Abedu watch Msentre for say speaker.
Indicate clearly that today's ruling has narrowed down the issues for determination by the court. In the sense that the first defendant, that is the Speaker of Parliament, now has no excuse whatsoever to decline or fail to file his defense and statement of case to the action. So now we are poised for a full hearing and determination of the matter. No more interlocutory or interim applications.
Do you support the Attorney General's position about the inability of the Speaker to continue in this case because of the PPA standoff that had been agreed earlier?
See, as plaintiffs in the matter, we acted out of abundance of caution, in that we sued the office of the Speaker. We did not sue the Speaker personally. My client, the majority leader, has no personal action against Right Honorable Alban Bagbin. It was his office and the conduct of some official matters, especially his ruling of 17th October 2024, which he objected. Now, back to your question. The Speaker or any other arm of government or agency of government for that matter, by Article 88 of the 1982 Constitution, is mandated, I place emphasis on that word, it's mandated to engage the attorney lawyer as its counsel in representation, whether in court or outside court. The circumstances under which they brought a private lawyer as their counsel cannot be answered by me. I leave that to them. But under the Constitution, going strictly by the express tenets of the 1992 Constitution, whenever any state organization or any arm of government is involved in a litigation, that entity is supposed to be represented by the Attorney General. So it's not a matter of me giving credence to the submission of the Attorney General on that score, but that actually is the dictate of the law. We acted out of abundance of caution by suing both the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General, so that whichever way they will be looking at it, the two of them will be opposed.
Enti abusiafo de ekoso ewo achi ho ebi assemble kono ene se speaker omo che se emremu no se aban lawyer pani attorney general ene oyi na lawyer fo no ba kwa na so no ankasa mpo ekogine mu ede ema speaker no o kan speaker asem ede ma no asem yi a esisesi ayi so no it is believed say the speaker ruling no ene honsem no ekwatia aban ewo ne mra ahodo bi ese ye gitum ni sika ahodo bi a parliament asetena indirectly no aban no sen kra na memputu na abeti ase sani pakro ya na eso jam speaker woni speaker ka befa attorney general na befa wa lawyer ama asem we nim complex
Brewefi ye wo court dem no yenya krata bia na efi PP asoye en krata no public procurement authority PPA na ne na ewo mu nyina ne se speaker request for ye beka se lawyer we krata December 2022 wo penia ne nsasha se the clerk to the clerk of parliament na there no more request for a lawyer say omeboa na wo mu hwe omu ensem so na sika na ewo involved ewo menim say no ene bo omu a na say sika we ekoye na lawyer title sorry ya firm ena na wo pese omu engage wom na so PPA for krata wo de koye na kire say debi abaya dwuma bia no attorney general ene defend wo mutino omo sere say ebeye yi a enka omo hold on to attorney general minim say bia eno so na attorney general ejina ka say as a speaker personal lawyer ne de as a ntwaye wo ho ena lawyer pa kwesi abedu so eka the same thing ono kra de ebisa no so ntimi nkyire nie ntia speaker akofa ne personal lawyer say o me defend in court asema enyo no ankasa ni mu as speaker of parliament Alban Bagbin no ena emra no ene nanya nemum the whole parliament no ena asem na ba beto wa asese aso fa asem no personal well of me nim said ye kekako but said ye wo kire mu no na je se emra na still ye san dwane kwatro no so de nchirichiri mu ba because
I was for you so Angel 102.9 FM. Story di kan no ye nya bre wo ho pa fi se ebi mu kra fa ni nyina full life. Enti se yetumi akire mu na oti ase yie. Sa bre we oti ase na wotie news a very good for you. If you say ye bre bia history pie pa dan kwa ma bia bebi sa ono aka ho nsem. Ma che se me kai sa bre we di esi ye ni. Me kai sa bre di esi ye ni no abi na ahya ase a ye twero e de ema no ti follow circles we yi pa ene de ya nso apamfo etu amampanifo council of state wo mu akwa speaker of parliament enkomo mo ni di ye de menim se de abobba bayi ne de akokosui ene wo hunu se speaker o mo anko ama ne komo anya america kra ha ebeye chiren se ya se siwani obi entumi enche but the tie nyina ne se ene council of state akosra speaker of parliament Alban Bagbin ene no akwadwetwe enkomo kakra